Across the sea of claws they will come, aboard rotten ships on fetid tides. 3 there will be, 3 armies, 3 lords, 3 brothers. 3 cities will fall, 3 heroes will die. Well, it seems that is the cryptic message that has been showing up over the last week or so all across little places on GW's website. And this is apparently foretelling the next releases coming out for End Times. Hello, this is MC1 Gamer, and this is my rumor update on all things End Times, which is something that I am absolutely immersed in. Really looking to share with you some of the things that I've found through discussions I've had, through forum posts I've read, and just, if you're into it, this is please feel free to jump on board. If you don't like it, this is probably not the video for you. So this foretells more heroes perishing in End Times, more cities and nations falling, and foretelling a little bit about the potential for more mergings of armies. And we've heard about this stuff since the first book of Nagash came out with the Undead Legions. So, more to the point, we've gotten some rumors about specific titles on Book 3, and that's pretty exciting. Now, we've heard rumor that, of course, that it's now become fact that the second book is all about chaos. So we haven't really seen the combined rules for that. We haven't gotten a release for that yet, but we've seen a lot of Nurgle stuff. We've seen a lot of great, these huge and disgusting, in a wonderful way, releases on models, units, characters. But now there's a lot of stuff coming out that's even going forward to the next book, which is generating a lot of interest. The next book apparently is going to be mainly about the elves. And the title that's going around is End Times Khaine. And if you're not familiar with who Khaine is, you probably don't play elves. Khaine is a different manifestation depending on whether you play High Elves or Dark Elves. They both kind of look to this guy as one of their gods. For the High Elves, he's considered the god of battle. For the Dark Elves, he's considered the god of murder. Either way, he connects the two. And this is supporting some of the rumors that have been going around that the armies for the elves are going to be combining in the same ways we're expecting for Chaos, where we're going to have united, combined army lists for Chaos, and what we've seen already for the Undead in the initial Nagash book. So some of the other rumors that we've heard are as follows. And this is on a number of different sites. We've seen the fact that there won't be any new Dark Elf models, which is kind of sad because you would want to see maybe an updated Marathi model. I think the coolest thing for Dark Elves would have been a Malekith model. I mean, I remember you having Malekith on a chariot led by Cold Ones back when I played Dark Elves many editions ago, before I took my hiatus from the hobby. But who knows what other kinds of things that are going to be introduced. So the rumors are as follows. There will be a new campaign, just like we've seen in the first book. We'll see that apparently in the second book as well. It looks like there's going to be some more Nagash and vampire-specific releases. I am crossing my fingers for the Red Duke, because I'm doing a Mousseline theme army. I would love to see the Red Duke as one of the disciples of Nagash, in the same way as some of the other vampires, special characters that they've had from the VC book. There's apparently going to be some releases for the Skaven, for the Tomb Kings, and some more for Chaos. Of course, Chaos, GW's pet for fantasy. Also, when it comes to Skaven stuff, I already mentioned in a previous video that there was a possibility for Thanquol and Bone Ripper, so there's some verification on that. There's some support for potentially a new Plastic Vermin Lord, which hopefully will get some new stats, because people apparently don't like to play it because it's just not competitive for its points. But more to the point, what are some of the things that we might be seeing? I think we're going to see some very hard things happening for the Empire. I've been reading some comments, not just from people like Darnock and Arthurius on Warseer, but there's also a comment that was made that it talks about some of the pettiness and arrogance of the High Elves, and how that's going to continue, and they're not going to come in and save the day, and they're going to have things are going to be just as bad for them as it's been for the Empire, for the Wood Elves, for Betonia. The bad guys are doing well, and the good guys are not. And this does lend support to some of the other comments that I've shared and discussions that have been had with other people on YouTube, that this is a continued hammering down by the forces of evil, by the forces of chaos, that will eventually start rising back up in a save the day or recovery aspect in the final chapter of this. But it also seems to be pointing very much in favor of the potential for a complete reset of the fluff, a reset of the storyline, emerging of, say, some of these armies, maybe potentially to break them away, give them new identities, maybe to have them show up in new form after the end of End Times. But I really want to discuss, rather than what the speculation is on what might be happening at the end of this whole process, although feel free to introduce your comments and your thoughts. But I also want to talk about what we might be seeing in this third edition, since we're starting to get already some great rumors about them. It appears that High Elves are not going to come in and save the day with another great vortex, but there's also some rumor that they might be seeing a whole lot of truly bad things happening to them, including the destruction of their island, the destruction of Aldorf. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I'm not sure. But there's a whole lot that it looks like it's going to be happening negatively towards the High Elves in particular, that may result in a reconciliation, or at least a combination back with the Dark Elves. Maybe some pact. Maybe when your back's up against the wall as the High Elves and you're facing extinction, the ends may justify the means, and you might be looking to make good with your brother or sister that you're estranged with, and that you might want to combine for the safety and the preservation of your race. And that's the kind of thing that I'm seeing, that we're going to see a huge destruction and detriment to specifically the High Elves in this in End Times Khaine, that will bring these two factions together. I don't know if I like that, but that's what it's looking like. It looks like the Wood Elves are going to get hammered pretty heavily. I wonder if they're going to be included in that reconciliation. I'm not as deeply knowledgeable about the fluff involving the Wood Elves connected to the other elves in the Warhammer Fantasy lore. So feel free to introduce that if you have greater knowledge than I do about that. But this apparently is these are the details as I'm reading them. I hope that you enjoy them, and I hope that if you have other thoughts and other information and insights, that you'll be bringing that also into the discussion. So feel free to comment. And if you like this series, I've got more coming. I've got some battle report that I'm just waiting to finish cutting with the latest in my End Times campaign series battle report, as well as the finale that's supposed to be happening in the next couple of weeks of my local campaign, which is going to be a massive Triumph and Treachery battle. I've only played that a couple of times. I'm a little mixed on that, but we're all supposed to be getting together and having this huge Triumph and Treachery battle with a lot of End Times type stuff included. So it's not full-on End Times, so I won't be playing the full-on Undead Legions, but it's going to have some of those rules, and it should be a different flavor and a different take on Triumph and Treachery and on End Times in general. So I'm glad to be bringing that to you, since my thing lately is all about End Times. So again, please like, comment, subscribe. I hope you tune in to the next series of battle reports and campaign inclusions. The next one is going to be a really big difference from anything I've done so far in terms of how the actual game has been run. So I hope you turn into that. It was challenging, beyond challenging for me, and I won't give you any more spoilers. And beyond that, have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.